Belgium shut down its airports for the sixth time this year. Colombia heads into a presidential vote with candidates already getting killed. And Saudi Arabia's trillion-dollar dream is quietly falling apart. That and more in today's international news. Let's get right into it. So, Belgium, home to both NATO and the EU, workers there have now shut down the country 6 times in 2026. Three major union confederations called the latest strike, canceling more than half of all flights into Brussels airport. The unions say the government imposed austerity reforms without consulting anyone, workers or employers. The union chair called it total disregard for social dialogue. Sounds familiar. Meanwhile, energy costs are spiking because of Middle East instability, squeezing people even harder. When workers have to strike 6 times in 5 months, that's not a labor problem, that's a legitimacy problem. In Myanmar, they're 5 years into a brutal military coup. ASEAN, Southeast Asia's regional bloc, is quietly considering letting the junta back into the room. Thailand wants free engagement to manage refugees in those cross-border scam compounds. Malaysia said it's uncomfortable because the atrocities haven't stopped. Analysts warn that China is steadily pulling Myanmar into its orbit, which is pushing some ASEAN members to hold their nose and deal. This is what happens when a bloc built on non-interference runs into humanitarian catastrophe. Nobody wins, and the military does. Colombia, May 31st vote is coming fast. 3 candidates, 3 very different visions. The backdrop, President Petro's total peace strategy failed. Guerrilla groups used the ceasefire to regroup and rearm, not disarm. More than 60 political and community leaders were killed during the last campaign season alone. Crime is the #1 voter issue. This is what it looks like when a peace process goes wrong and a country has to pick up the pieces at the ballot box. Peru, June 7th runoff, Fujimori versus Sanchez, 9 presidents in a decade. Virtually every recent former president under investigation or convicted. The first round results were delayed, which immediately raised transparency concerns. Peru is the world's second largest copper producer and a major supplier for the green energy transition. So political chaos in Lima doesn't stay in Lima. It moves through the commodity markets and into the global economy. Lastly, Saudi Arabia entering the delivery phase of Vision 2030. Oil prices dropped through late 2025, cutting into the fund that's supposed to bankroll the whole transformation. The line is that the futuristic linear city has been quietly scaled back. Foreign investments is falling short. The window to prove this works is closing. And when your entire reinvention plan depends on oil money to replace oil money, that tension eventually comes due. That's it for today's international news. And as always, thank you for watching.